All right, guys, I've talked about Jake Cook incessantly. You're probably annoyed with it. And you guys know I love the Jake Cook man. I just want to go over it one more time because now it's a good story, right? It has a happy ending. I'm sure you've heard by now. Jake Cook finally got his offer. In my opinion, this is over, right? Jake Cook's going to be in this class. I'm just very partial to Ohio players when it comes to Ohio State. And when you talk about guys that are right on the brink, I always want to defer to, yes, let's take that guy. Obviously, I'm biased. I get it. But when you talk about a story like this, so many of us played Ohio high school football and dreamed of an Ohio State offer. Jake Cook, no different. A huge Buckeye fan all his life. Jake Cook was a guy who, throughout the majority of his high school career, was not an Ohio State level prospect. He just wasn't. Had the size, but carried a lot of extra weight on him, wasn't quite strong enough. And Jake changed his habits, changed his body, and went into the offseason ready to show that he was an Ohio State level prospect. Despite earning a Louisville offer and committing to Louisville, which is an amazing accomplishment, he dreamed of playing for the Bucks. So he comes in, and there is an Under Armour camp down in Canton. And everything we're hearing out of this camp from the people that have seen Jake Cook compete in these camps over the years are, whoa, this dude's legit now. And seriously might be an Ohio State level prospect. And that, I must have seen it on 4 different outlets. From guys that cover these things all over the country. Pretty interesting. Then Jake goes to the Rivals camp, wins the MVP at the Rivals camp.
Slide it! Get over this! Good.
And the recap from the guys at the Rivals camp, exact same. Whoa, Jake Cook. And we hear from guys close to the program that he's on the Buckeyes radar. We know that he's going to be at the Ohio State camp. So that camp comes. Jake Cook goes there along with a lot of other Ohio prospects, Dwayne Galloway, Nolan Davenport, and we're waiting to see who gets the offers coming out of this camp. Guys that are right on the cusp. Dwayne doesn't, Nolan Davenport doesn't, and Jake doesn't. But Jake absolutely killed it at that camp. Big story about him working so hard. He's throwing up at the camp and right back in there. And despite not getting the offer, Jake comes out of that camp feeling very confident. I talked to him that night and he told me, despite not getting the offer, he sat after that camp and watched film with Justin Fry, offensive line coach, for quite a while. And then he had a meeting with Coach Fry and Coach Day. And they told him straight up, look, we weren't going to offer you coming into this, but you are an Ohio State lineman. We are not ready to do that now, but we're certainly evaluating our options here. So Jake felt confident. About a week and a half later, Jake's team goes to work out at Ohio State. Opened up Jake Cook getting that offer. So our guy came back down and worked out on Wednesday. Jake Cook, I'm talking. Jake Cook comes down, works out Wednesday, and Jake is now working that day with Justin Fry doing center drills. They have the conversation again at the end of practice. This time, Jake leaves with the same exact conversation. That's not what happened here in this case. Jake Cook left with the same conversation that was had with him on the previous workout, which was, without an offer. But, we're still very interested. We're just not going to extend the offer today. As you can imagine, that didn't go over great on the other end. And Jake went and reaffirmed his commitment shortly after that to Louisville on Twitter by posting a graphic in peer recruiting, maybe, I don't know, 2 hours after he left Columbus. So he wasn't happy, I'm sure. And who would be after breaking your chops and getting told no again and again. So, unfortunate. That sucks. But as of yet, and I still, in the end, really think that we are going to, well, despite them not giving him the offer that day, they apparently sat down and reevaluated their board and decided Jake Cook was, in fact, a guy that they want in the class. And they offered him this past weekend. And it's just not often that we see a story like this have a really cool ending. And I just absolutely love it for this kid. I love it for us. I think that he is, when you see somebody who has done what he's done to get where he got in such a short period of time, it's a guy that's got everything in him to do what's needed to get himself to the next level and the next level and the next level. He's got the drive. He's got the prerequisite size, and he's got the nasty in him. And you can have a lineman with all the physical tools in the world, who is a highly rated lineman because he has all those physical tools, but he's got those physical tools and he doesn't love football and he's not nasty and he can get by and he can be a good lineman with that. And then you also got the linemen who maybe don't have all the physical tools, but they, and they're lower rated because they don't have all the physical tools, but they have the drive and they have the nasty and they can also be great linemen. It just takes a little more time to get them there. And Jake has shown what he can do as far as growth, and I couldn't be happier. And I'm really happy that I got a chance to kind of document this as it kind of went on, because I probably talked about him in 5 straight episodes, or probably 5 or 6 episodes leading up to this final conclusion, which it's not over yet. He hasn't officially committed. But, odds are really, really heavy that Jake's in this class.